Hey guys, how's it going? Let's do a video. So while I'm sitting here, we're at Walmart. I don't really go in Walmart much, so I'm sitting here in the air conditioning, kind of cool off from earlier. Had several divine appointments at Home Depot. It was interesting. People I hadn't talked to in, a year. All of us showed up at the same spot at the same time. It's kind of cool. And I have a praise report for later on today or tomorrow. I'll share with you guys. But right now I want to go through Nahum. And told you guys I was going to do this. Things have kind of been weird the last few days. But we're going to start it now since I'm sitting out here and have an opportunity to do this. So Nahum is an interesting book, very interesting prophetic book. And Nahum is an interesting prophet. Very mysterious things surrounded this guy. There's not a lot that we know about him. But the Lord gave him a very, very elaborate, intense visions in only 3 chapters. And some of them are kind of surprising. But there's a lot of answers to a lot of questions hidden within Nahum. And that's why I want to cover it, because it applies to our time right now beyond belief. So we're going to start with Nahum 1. We're going to go through and we're going to see what we discover. I think you're going to be surprised at what we see. Now, of course, Nahum happened after the story of Nineveh, when Jonah went up there and was in the belly of the fish and all that. We talked about that recently. Well, this is the time frame afterwards when Nineveh was destroyed. God saved them when they repented. Well, then they went right back into their same old stuff again. And he makes some very interesting statements here. The burden against Nineveh. The book of the vision of Nahum the Elkoshite. God is jealous, and the Lord avenges. The Lord avenges and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserves wrath for his enemies. This is an important statement. All these people that think we have to go through the tribulation, and the tribulation is the wrath of God, we are not appointed to wrath. The wrath is for the enemies of God, not us. So that question about whether we're going through the tribulation or not, again, is answered in, of all places, Nahum. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord has his way in the whirlwind, and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebukes the sea and makes it dry, and dries up all the rivers. Bashan and Carmel wither, and the flower of Lebanon wilts. The mountains quake before him, the hills melt, and the earth heaves at his presence. Yes, the world and all who dwell in it. Verse 5 tells you that all that stuff from verse 3 down, all those things that he did are talking about literal things, but also talking about allegorical. It's referring to people. The statement in verse 5 tells you that. Yes, the world and all who dwell in it. So Nahum already knew that somebody was going to ask what that's referring to. And he said, yes, it is referring to them. Verse 6, who can stand before his indignation? No one. People that think they're going to make it through the tribulation? Oh, no, I don't think so. Good luck trying, but then again, I don't wish you good luck because I don't want you to be here for it. Who can stand? Whoops, lost my place. Who can stand before his indignation? And who can endure the fierceness of his anger? No one. His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knows those who trust in him. But with an overflowing flood, he will make an utter end of this place, and darkness will pursue his enemies. Verse 7, and he knows those who trust in him. The Lord knows every one of our hearts. So all those people who are making excuses but hiding it, all those people who are saying one thing but doing another, all those people who don't have truth in their heart, God knows this. He knows who you are and he knows what you're doing, and he's going to out you on this. In some cases, maybe kind of violently. Now's your chance to get saved before it's too late. Verse 9, what do you conspire against the Lord? Good question. What do you conspire against the Lord? He will make an utter end of it. Affliction will not rise up a second time. For while tangled like thorns, and while drunken like drunkards, they shall be devoured like stubble fully dried. From you comes forth one who plots evil against the Lord, a wicked counselor. That would be the Antichrist. Thus says the Lord, though they are safe and likewise many, yet in this manner they will be cut down when he passes through. Though I have afflicted you, I will afflict you no more. For now I will break off his yoke from you and burst your bonds apart. He's talking about us. The Lord has given a command concerning you. Your name shall be perpetuated no longer. Out of the house of your gods I will cut off the carved image and the molded image. I will dig your grave, for you are vile. This is a dire warning, not only to Satan, but all who follow him. Verse 15, behold, on the mountains the feet of him who brings good tidings, who proclaims peace. O Judah, keep your appointed feasts, perform your vows, for the wicked one shall no more pass through you. He is utterly cut off. Now, I hate to stop there, but I got a limited amount of time to do this. But what an amazing start to a 3-chapter book. Now, in the playlist, the small books of the Bible, I did Nahum, but I didn't elaborate on what was talking about here. We're going to elaborate a little bit more on this. And as we go into chapter 2 and 3, we're really going to see some good stuff and be able to elaborate more on it and look at how it applies to us. But clearly, God gave Nahum something very interesting. A no-name prophet that people don't pay attention to is one of the most relevant ones for this time right now. To me, when I read this, he's talking about the tribulation, the Antichrist, and all the people who are going to be here during that time. He's talking about the deliverance of Israel from the evil one. He mentions Judah specifically, and they're the ones the remnant is going to come out of. So it's quite amazing to see this and to see just how pertinent and how relevant it is to this time right now. Don't ever count the book of God out. Don't ever count the Bible out. There's always something new to learn. There's always something exciting and special and important that applies to our lives and to right now, hidden within these words. We just have to be willing to read it. We have to be willing to look at it and to discern what God is telling us, because he's constantly talking, but we're not always listening. So that is going to be a short video for Nahum 1. I'm going to do the other 2, hopefully the next 2 days, maybe 3, and we'll see where it takes us. But I think we're going to find some really interesting stuff, and it may be some stuff that will answer questions you have that you've heard on other channels, or that just have questions on your own from the Bible. All right, I love you guys. See you in the next one.